We always hear about grand adventures, right? Exploring the world, seeing new places. But what if the biggest, most important journey you could ever take is the one inside yourself? That's exactly the idea we're diving into today, from a work called The Emerald Hills of the Heart. So let's really think about that for a second. What does it actually mean to travel inward? It's a phrase we throw around a lot, self-discovery, finding your center. But what does that really look like? Is there a map? Where do you even begin? Well, the source we're exploring today is the second volume of a work called Kalben Zumrich Tepelary. It's a beautiful name. It translates to The Emerald Hills of the Hearts. And this isn't just a book you're supposed to read. It's presented more like a direct invitation, a personal call to action for your soul. So don't think of it like some dry instruction manual. It's more like a personal guide, one that's talking directly to you. The whole point isn't to just sit back and absorb information. It's about getting you to actively respond, to start a really deep personal journey of your own. Okay, so if it's a journey, where are we going? What's the destination? The main idea here is a shift, a movement from the outside in, from all the surface level stuff in our lives, right to the very core of who we are. It's all about getting past the fluff and connecting with what's real. And this is a great way to picture it. It really lays out these two, poles of existence. On one side, you've got the external world, the surface, our appearances, everything on the periphery. But the book says, nope, that's not where you're headed. The real destination is over on the other side, at the center, with truth and with reality. The whole journey is about getting from that first column to the second. But here's the thing. To go on a journey like this, your regular GPS won't work. You need a completely different kind of map. In fact, you need to learn a whole new language, a vocabulary that's built just for this inner landscape of the heart and soul.
And that language is called Tasawwufi Istilahat, which is just Sufi terminology. And these aren't just words in a dictionary. Think of them more like landmarks or signposts on that inner map. They're the tools that help you figure out where you are, and they give a name to the states of being you're trying to cultivate.
So what's the first landmark? It's a concept called Maviet. And listen, this goes way beyond just being humble. We're talking about a really profound state of self-effacement. It's about truly, honestly seeing how small we are in the grand scheme of things. And the book argues this is the essential first step if you ever want to see past your own ego. And building right on top of that foundation, you get the next concept, Tavazu. This is that real, genuine modesty that can only grow from Maviet. See, it's not about putting on a show of being humble. It's the real deal, a virtue that comes from truly understanding your place. And it's seen as absolutely essential for making any real progress here. So you might be wondering, wait a minute, where do these ideas even come from? Did someone just make them up? Or is there something solid backing them? What gives this whole spiritual language its authority? Well, the book is very clear on this. These are not just some abstract philosophical ideas. They're actually deeply anchored in the foundational texts of Islam, specifically the ayat, which are the verses of the Quran, and the hadiths, the teachings of the Prophet. That's where they get their spiritual weight. That's their foundation. Okay, so we've got a path, and we've got the language to help us navigate it, but where are we actually going? What's the final destination here? What is the entire point of this journey? And the book makes it super clear. This is not an academic exercise. The goal is not to become an expert in Sufi terminology. The real goal is personal transformation. It's about taking these concepts off the page and using them to fundamentally change who you are. And this is basically the roadmap. It breaks the whole thing down. First, you learn the concepts, stuff like Mafiet and Tavazu. Then you grasp their foundation, you see where they come from. But then, and this is the crucial part, you have to perform heart actions. I love that phrase. It means you have to live these ideas, practice them internally. When you do that, you start to attain virtues, real moral and human excellence. And all of this leads to the final goal, becoming a gerçek insan, a true human. And this quote right here, this is the whole thing in a nutshell, isn't it? It perfectly captures the mission statement. It's a call to move from the external to the core, from the surface to the center, toward the truth, and ultimately to becoming a true, authentic human being. So let's just end with this question, turning it back to you. This book provides one map, one language for this inner journey. But whether you use this particular map or find a different one, the question is still there for every single one of us. What does your journey to the core look like?